Hey guys, what's up? Chris here with Palmer Aquatics. Today's video, I want to talk about duckweed. I know a bunch of you guys are like, oh, who cares about duckweed, right? Actually, I've been getting a ton of questions regarding floating plants because I've been doing a lot of videos regarding how I've been having really good luck with floating plants in all my tanks. And people are like, hey Chris, can you ship me some of the plants? I'll send you some money. Shipping plants gets a little weird, and I'm not there yet. I got to get some more info on the regulations. But anyways, let's talk duckweed. I would say the general consensus on duckweed is that everybody hates it, right? You always hear that. Here, let me pull my my sweatshirt sleeve up. I want to show you guys why or how. So here's the story. Duckweed is a small little floating plant, and it's super invasive. And what that means that it travels very easily, it's very sturdy, and it will take over waterways anywhere it can get its hands on. So what happens is when something touches the water, the duckweed sticks to it. And it's no joke. Look at this. The most common way to get duckweed is getting floating plants from other fish keepers, because when you take your plants out to sell them or to trade them, the duckweed travels with the plant itself. And that's how I got this duckweed. And yes, there are tons of different strains of duckweed. Here, let me show you some other strains that I have in these tanks. See, I have floating plants in all 6 of these tanks pretty much. And I'm basically just running a bunch of different types. Let me take the lid off of this here for us. You can see all of these are different types. And this is what is called as giant duckweed. This is the bigger stuff. We got to be careful because these are African cichlids in here and they will kill us. No, but as you can see, this is a lot better of a plant to have in a tank because it's not going to get in your filters, it's less intrusive, and I mean, you can mix it with other live plants like this, but in all reality, the smaller duckweed completely sucks. This stuff is a pain in the rear, and fish keepers hate it, to be completely honest. Especially people that keep planted tanks hate it, because what happens is, so you say you have your planted tank, like this beautiful planted tank. That made a lot of sense. But anyways, these plants consume light, and what duckweed does is it takes over the surface. So I would say a minimum of 1 day a week, I have to go in here and get rid of all the duckweed. And this is 1 week worth of growth in this 40-gallon breeder, which is insane. That's pretty cool to have that plant come right through the surface there. I must be doing something right, huh? Well, that's just water spray. I feel like any person can grow that because it's super easy. But let's talk about, let me flip the cam here and I want to talk some questions. All right, so the most common questions I get asked with duckweed is, number one, how fast does the duckweed grow? I just showed you a tank where the surface of the water was completely taken over in a 40-gallon breeder within 1 week. So 7 days span will cover that entire 40-gallon breeder, and that's with no CO2. I couldn't imagine what duckweed would do with a CO2. But yeah, moving on to the next question. I can't keep duckweed alive. When people say that, I can't even fathom how that's possible, because I've ran tests of if I could kill duckweed, or I ran a test. I've been taking duckweed and I've been putting it in a dark closet to see how long it would die, how long it would take to die, and this stuff goes into complete dormant. It literally, you cannot kill duckweed. So if you can't keep duckweed alive, but anyways, what it could boil down to is your lighting. Maybe you need a full spectrum light, aka a plant light, to not get too in depth with that. Also, do fish eat duckweed? Yes, some fish eat duckweed. A lot of goldfish absolutely love it. I know gouramis love it, silver dollars, tetras love it. I have a bunch of floating plants in this tank here, and the barbs love it, the silver dollars love it, and it's actually great food for goldfish. So I only have 4 goldfish, so I have way too much duckweed. And third, will you ship me duckweed? No, I won't, because a lot of places are really weird about shipping invasive plants like this. You almost just have to kind of get it from a local fish keeper per se. So I'm trying to think of what else. Someone asked me the other day, their duckweed was changing colors. What could that possibly be? I could see when duckweed starts to die, it starts to change colors sometimes, and it'll kind of turn a purple color and just die out. It's a weird thing, but what I find that the duckweed will be in a spot in the tank where it gets absolutely no light for maybe like a year, then it will eventually die. So hopefully that helps answer some questions. I'm going to do my weekly routine of net out all the duckweed in all of my planted tanks. It's super annoying. I just figured this touch base with me right now. This resonated well with me because I'm very passionate about it, because I'm netting this and I hate doing this. So duckweed, think twice about it. If you're thinking about getting floating plants, get some other ones. There's a bunch of other ones. I have a video on my favorite floating plants. Make a combo of them. Just don't let this small tiny duckweed get into your tanks because it sucks. Or if you do, get a fish that'll consume it all. You know, maybe get some silver dollars that'll just feed on it all. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna end this. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. It's just super busy, so busy. But give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. This is my clips channel. You can also check out my main channel, Palomar Aquatics. All right, guys, without further ado, have yourself a great evening / day / morning, whatevs.